Hasta luego y gracias. Mua. Como comentábamos hace un momento, varios avisos. El primero, Edyta Jasinska es la siguiente ponente que tenemos hoy. La charla será en inglés, ¿vale? Pedimos que si hay alguna pregunta, si no las traduciremos, y pedimos que si hay alguna pregunta sea en inglés, si no las traduciremos por aquí en un momentito, que tenemos Google Translator y otras herramientas por suerte. Hi, Edyta, good morning.
Hello, hello.
Hello. Edyta Jasinska, lo vamos a comentar así, es recruiter en Femloft Barcelona y bueno, y eso lo hace tener contacto directo con un montón de candidatos a día de hoy. Entonces, su charla es The Role of Mindset in Combating Impostor Syndrome that is the Job Hunt, que creo que es el síndrome del impostor, es algo que siempre nos acaba pasando por encima a muchas personas y creo que es importante también durante un proceso complicado y difícil como es buscar un trabajo en la industria. Edyta, te voy a dejar ya paso, ¿vale? A las personas del chat esperamos vuestras preguntas. Thank you very much, Edyta, and it's your time. Please.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me. So I am Edyta, and I am recruiter at Gameloft. Let's wait a little bit because Ines will help me because I prepared the presentation in Spanish for people who may not feel fully comfortable with English. So she will be sharing the presentation in Spanish, so don't worry, and I will be presenting in English and having my presentation in English. I hope next time I will be able to speak Spanish fluently and I will present to all of you in Spanish.
Thank you very much.
Sure. And Ines, how is it going? Is it loading, or maybe Ari can help us with the presentation? Okay, because I cannot see it, but then perfect. If you see it, then awesome. Maybe Ines, also could you mute yourself because I can hear myself. Oh. Awesome. Okay, so as Deborah introduced me, I am Edyta and I am from Poland. I am recruiter at Gameloft. So actually every day I am meeting different people, different candidates that are super awesome, but also I noticed that they are struggling with imposter syndrome. My background is in psychology, but this year I also started my journey with coaching. So I can really see that this topic is very important, especially when we are talking about job hunt. So I'm very happy that I can talk about it with you today. After my presentation, there will be some time for the questions, so do not hesitate to ask. So let's start. If we can move to the next slide, then it would be perfect. So today, firstly, we will be talking about what is imposter syndrome, then what are imposter syndrome types, what is fixed mindset versus growth mindset, and how to develop a growth mindset. So I hope you will learn something new from my presentation, or just it will be like a good reminder for you about some strategies that you can always use to help yourself. So next slide, please. So what is imposter syndrome? I see that for some people as well, there is some problem with the presentation. So let us know in the chat if you can see it, because honestly, I also see it loading. So I may continue and let us know. Okay, so apparently some people can see it and some not. Well, we can. Okay, good. Awesome.
Edyta, I can see and I can.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thank
So,
you.
What is imposter syndrome? I'm sure for some of you this topic is really familiar, and maybe for those who doesn't know what is imposter syndrome, when I will start talking about the symptoms, you will be like, okay, I experienced this, I know what you're talking about. So let's start. So basically, in easy words, imposter syndrome is like having an internal voice that constantly whispers that you're not good enough. So especially in a job hunt, at the interviews, when you are trying to apply for new jobs, it might be very difficult. Because despite your successes and accomplishments, you're still feeling that actually you are pretending to be competent. So this is a psychological experience where you doubt your abilities, when you question your achievements, and when you fear being exposed as a fraud. So this part is very, very important, that you have this feeling of being of a fraud and that someone will discover that you don't have enough competences. So it might be very difficult and frustrating feeling. So what are the symptoms about regarding the imposter syndrome? So the first would be inability to realistically assess your competences and skills. So it's the situation where you have the certain level of the skill, but you always doubt yourself. You feel like you are not good enough, and it's difficult for you to get the perspective that if this is the line and this is the having zero level of the skill and this is like 100% and you are here, you still feel like you don't have this skill. So you don't see it as a continuous journey of learning and you really doubt yourself. Then the next symptom is attributing your success to external factors. So, for example, you got to the interview and you think like, oh, I was just lucky. Or you got promoted and you think, it's because my manager likes me. So it's difficult for you to see that maybe you got promoted or you got to the interview because you are really good at what you're doing. You are berating your own performance despite positive feedback. So even though you receive some positive information about your work, you are always focused on the negative, and it's difficult for you to accept the positive feedback. You may think that, okay, there are some negative things, but they had to say something positive, so they are saying this just because of this. So it can happen to everyone. You feel the persistent fear that you won't live up to others' expectations. So if you doubt your skills, it is very difficult for you to set up the realistic expectations. So then you always count on the other expectations, which may lead to overachieving to compensate for the self-doubt. So you always feel like you need to do extra work, you need to do extra things to meet other people's expectations, but also so they don't see that you are not competent enough. Of course, self-sabotaging behaviors that hinder your own success. And then setting extremely challenging goals and feeling disappointed when you fall short. So for example, in a job hunt, you don't see the whole journey that you need to go through and you don't set up small goals. But if you are rejected from the first interview or you are rejected from the second interview, you see it as a failure instead of seeing the success that you already made of getting, for example, to the first interview. So we can move to the next slide. So what I wanted to stress, and it's really important, that imposter syndrome is not a mental illness, and it affects most of the people. It is something natural that may happen to everyone. So if you see that you have most of the symptoms, don't worry. It's not a mental illness. It's something really natural that will happen to everyone from time to time. Next slide. So the first step to actually combat this syndrome is just being conscious that it exists, and also being conscious the way it affects you personally as a person. Because only being conscious, you can work on your mindset, you can work on your thoughts and behaviors. So just because you are here and you already know what is imposter syndrome, that's the first step. So that's great. Next slide, please. So there are different types of imposter syndrome, and it is created just to so you can imagine better how it works and that people can experience it in a different way. But for sure, you will see this common factor of feeling like a fraud. So the first one would be the perfectionist. So you feel you must be absolutely perfect, which all we know will never happen. So the example in a job hunt would be that you are spending hours on a job application, avoiding applying if it's not perfect. So you're spending, I don't know, 12 hours to prepare perfect resume, or to prepare perfect cover letter, and in the end you are not satisfied, so you are not applying, or it takes you so much time that you are not able to apply to the jobs that are interesting to you. Then the superwoman. So you try to do everything and excel in all the areas. So you are scheduling job interviews between work and family responsibilities. And of course, it leads to super overwhelming feeling. And you don't remember that this path of looking for a job is already challenging, really energy consuming, and you don't let yourself to do a little bit less in terms of other different areas of your life. So because of this, your energy is becoming on a zero level. So it may impact, for example, how you present yourself at the interviews. So it's also really important to remember to give yourself time and to let go all the perfectionism, and that you have to excel in all the areas. The next one is the natural genius. So you believe you should understand everything immediately. So when you see the job description and you don't understand some requirements, you are getting super anxious and you just skip the job listing, which of course you don't need to understand everything. And it's normal because sometimes maybe in the job descriptions, the words people are using are not familiar to you. So if you don't understand everything, just really take your time to read it through, stay calm, and you really don't need to know everything, especially at the beginning. The next one is the expert. So you believe you need to know everything before you're qualified. So you are delaying your job application to, for example, take another course on Coursera, just to be sure that your skill is 100%, which of course leads to missing many interesting job opportunities, because by the time you finish the course, they already hired someone. Then the last one, the soloist. So you think you should do everything on your own. So you handle everything by yourself. You don't ask for help. Which help is actually really important when you are looking for a job, for example, through the networking perspective, or you can ask your ex-colleagues to ask for help. Maybe they know about some kind of openings that you are not aware of. So now we can move to another slide. I need some water. So actually, here I would like to talk like how actually we can change our mindset. So firstly, I'd like to start with the fixed mindset. Fixed mindset is the mindset that people who experience imposter syndrome have. So I will tell you a little bit how it looks like, and then what is in the opposite of fixed mindset, which is growth mindset. So fixed mindset. So people with fixed mindset very often believe that talents are set in a stone. So they think that, for example, if they don't present themselves good at the job interview, they feel it's part of their personality. So they cannot change it. They are just like, I'm just not good at the interviews. Then avoiding challenges. So people with fixed mindset, they may shy away from applying to jobs that require skills that they haven't mastered yet. So they don't allow themselves to apply to the position that, for example, there are 5 requirements. They meet like 3, the most important ones, but the 2 other are missing. So they think like, I don't have experience they are looking for, so why even bother? Fixed mindset also makes us discouraged by failures. So every time we got rejection, we feel like it's just like a proof that we are feeling like a fraud, that our competences are not good enough, and then it goes like all this negative thought sequence. And then they seek validation, while, by the way, validation is important for everyone, but also it is important to know, to be able to assess your own skills. People who tend to have fixed mindset, they always look for the validation. They ask people, their mentors and friends, like, do you think I'm good enough for this job? And only if they got approval from others, they feel ready to apply. So what is the opposite of the fixed mindset? So there we go with the growth mindset that will definitely help you to feel more at ease while you are looking for a job. So for example, people with growth mindset, they embrace challenges. So they are open to apply for the job opportunity that is a little bit out of their comfort zone, because they feel that they can learn and improve through this experience. And also then when they are at the job interview, even though they are asked about the skill that they don't have, they are able to present it in a way that it shows that they can learn it and that they are eager to learn it. So this is very important. Then they understand abilities can improve. So they recognize that skills can be developed, and they take proactive steps to learn new skills. And this word, proactivity, is very important. So if you see that you don't have specific skill, you don't think like, okay, I'm always like that, I will never get it. But you say like, now I can't, but in the future I will be able to learn it. And you take small proactive steps to start this journey of learning the skill you need. People with growth mindset view failures as a lesson. So if they got rejected, they are not shy to ask for the feedback, because I know getting feedback can be difficult, especially if there are more negative things than the positive ones. But with the growth mindset, we can always look at the constructive feedback, that it's information to us what we have to improve. And also what I wanted to say is like, when you get the feedback, you have to read it, and then it's up to you which informations you want to take for yourself, because you will receive feedback from so many people that it's only up to you, that you need to decide which information was important to you and which information actually can help you to grow. And then people with fixed mindset, they believe in their capacity. So they trust that with the hard work, compassion, and effort to themselves, they can sooner or later get the job that they are interested in. So their mindset actually motivates them to help to achieve what they want, or they are becoming more flexible to look for the alternatives. So we can switch to the next slide. So there are different strategies that may help you to develop a growth mindset. So, for example, as I said before, setting up small goals. So, if you are looking for a job, do your plan, do every little step that you want to take. And if you do it, then reward yourself for doing it. Recognize that you are able to do all the small steps that are leading you to the final success. And really remember to appreciate for achieving every small step. Then assess your abilities. Try to remember what are your strengths and focus on them to still develop them, and what you're missing, think that you can still learn it. Ask for feedback. So if it happens that you are getting constantly rejected from the job and there is any pattern in the feedback, maybe it's worth it to think about it. And then do the action to, of course, improve. Be open to alternatives. So sometimes we are very focused to get the job only at one company or only one specific industry, but maybe it will take us time. So maybe we should open a bit more to the industries that we haven't thought about yet. Do the list of all the opportunities that we didn't take into consideration and start from there. Then focus on journey, not just the destination. So it is really related to setting up small goals, that looking for a job is really a journey. It can be long, it can be short. I hope for you it will be short, but it's always a journey that we need to appreciate and try to enjoy. Use I can't instead of I can't yet instead of I can't. This is little, let's say, mind trick, because it encourages you to thinking that even if you don't know something right now, this little word yet gives you hope that you can do it in the future. Cultivate self-compassion. So as we were talking, looking for a job can be difficult. It can give you many difficult emotions, frustration, and sometimes with our inner critic we make the situation even worse. So try as much as you can to cultivate self-compassion, to be supportive to yourself, because you are already doing good just trying to find the job you dream of. Then value curiosity and openness. So I would say it is really connected to be open to alternatives. Be curious. Also go to the different events where you can speak with the people that are working in the industry, and be open to new connections. Stop fighting your feelings. So as I mentioned before, it's natural to feel this way. You don't have to criticize yourself for your feelings, and you can be your biggest support. And it's important to leave some space to feel all the negative emotions, to observe them, so then you can move forward. And the last one that actually is very important, we tend to because we are human, we compare ourselves to others. So when it happens, it's important to remember to compare yourself to actually your past self, not others. Because if you look at yourself from, like, for example, 2 years ago, and you compare yourself with your present self, then for sure you will see the big work and the new skills that you gained. So we are the only right point to see, the process and the job we've done. So thank you so much. Now I am ready for your questions, if there are any. And I hope you enjoyed my presentation.